So my husband and I eloped, so I didn't get this whole, big wedding and all the tradition that go in with this. But there is some discussion now as to whether you should do a first look or not at your wedding.
Traditionally, you don't.
Traditionally, you don't, because the thing is, they say, air quotes, bad luck, if you see the bride before she's actually down the aisle, standing in front of the groom. And so, but I have seen the type where you kind of hold each other's hands around a corner, but you're not really looking at each other. But now they want to have a first look so that the bride and groom has a minute with each other before all the craziness of the day.
I kind of get that.
Yeah, so
I'm kind of a traditionalist.
Yeah, me too. Like I would think, I don't know. I just think there's something special about walking down the aisle. The groom was like, "Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful," and it's the first time.
Yeah, but Scott's, an out-of-box thinker. I mean, he had the first look.
No, we actually made a very conscious effort not to see each other because I wanted to see, my wife for the first time coming down the aisle in that wedding dress, bam, and have all the emotions and not see her beforehand. I wanted that to be the first look.
Did
Most
you cry?
people.
Did you?
What?
Did you cry?
Don't you always? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Really?
I mean, that's part of the emotion, right?
Oh, I love it. When the groom cries and when the dads and the grandpas cry, I'm done. It's over.
Well, yeah, because that's your child. It's never going to be the same.
Never going to be the same.
Yeah, that happens when they go to college, there's grieving.
Yeah.
When there's the marriage, there's grieving.
Right.
And then when they move away,
There's a little
grieving.
party and then there's grieving.
I'm going to bawl when my daughter gets married. I'm going to tell you right now,
dude.
I'm going to bawl.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
you are.
just a puddle. I can already tell.
It's going to happen when she goes to college, man.
That's true,
Yeah.
and that's happening soon. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
Here's
Yeah.
a hanky.
So with our wedding, my wife and I didn't see each other until they opened the back doors of the church and everything like that. I saw her for the first time. I was smiling. It was a beautiful moment. However, we have no pictures of our wedding because our photographer, who we paid, took off with all our money. We never got to see our pictures.
No.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, my heart sank just hearing that, man. I'm so sorry.
Oh my! It really
Hopefully
does.
some people took some pictures and you got those, but that doesn't replace the official.
Oh, it does not.
I'm
Oh,
glad you got
that's
the memory,
terrible.
though. It sounds like it's vivid.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Stacy said, here's what we did when we got married. Our first look was walking down the aisle, and it looks like they're around like the corner of a door, into another room. So he can kind of get a little sneak peek at her.
What do you mean a corner around the room?
So, like at the door, right, between the sanctuary and maybe the foyer, it looks like. He's kind of behind the door in the sanctuary. She's more standing in the foyer, so he can kind of see her dress, but it looks like he's putting a flower on her wrist. She sent us a picture. Beautiful, beautiful wedding dress. By the way.
Oh, absolutely.
You look gorgeous.
Could be. And a lot of people do that first look.
Yeah, just
I mean, not first look, but first touch.
first touch. I didn't know it was called first touch, but it is. I mean, you basically just hold hands around a corner or something like that. So you still get that first look as they're coming down the aisle. And all the tears and all the...
And then there's a trend that some people are getting a first look.
Yeah, they want to spend time and even taking pictures before the wedding. But the cons of that is, if you're out, maybe the dress gets dirty. Anything can happen. So
But you get to the reception a whole lot faster.
you do.
Open mics are coming in through the My HISRadio app.
Before we got married, we had a prayer with our preacher. My husband was on the inside of the sanctuary, and I was on the outside of the sanctuary. And our preacher got down on his knees and held our hands together and prayed with us. And that is such a special memory to have, putting God at the rock of our marriage and knowing the special bond that was coming. And then our first look was me walking down the aisle. Such a special memory that we would just never forget.
And I love you had your pastor do that.
I do too. That is so sweet. Okay, Courtney texted. She said, we got married at the beginning of the pandemic, so our wedding was canceled 2 weeks before the big day, so we ended up getting married in the backyard of the house that we were building together. We had a big wedding a couple of months later and did a first look at the wedding because we were already married by that point.
Okay, so everybody came over for this one.
Exactly. And then Sarah texted and said, we prayed before we had our first look together, and it was just the sweetest moment. And they sent us a picture. Beautiful, beautiful dress.
Because they're around a tree.
They are around a tree, just kind of holding hands. So a little sneaky peek.
Yeah, with the backs up against the tree,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And their hands. Oh,
So
that's
sweet.
And I love that you start your marriage with prayer. My son did that, and his wife, and they had everybody pray for them. That was in the
I
wedding
love
party.
that.
It was it was so good. Here's another open mic that came in through the My HISRadio app.
When I got married, my dad about didn't make it through the "we give our daughter away" part. And the minute he sat down, he laid it over in my mom's lap and squalled through the wedding. The minute the wedding was over, he went a beeline for the car and he was gone. We had to find him afterwards to get pictures made. He was a very emotional, and I'll never forget it. I love my dad.
Oh, I love that you love your dad like that. I feel like that's how I'd be.